Am I supposed to feel into my body and my emotions, move more deeply into them, or meditate on the emptiness? Let the quantum field, let the source take care of everything. And then after my meditation, right, during the day, is it positive thoughts that create a positive reality? And I should really be focused on that? Or do I need to really be like welcoming and listening to the sadness that arises? Or, my inner child needs to cry. Well, that's not positive. So what do I do there? And I've also heard some spiritual teachers say things like, hey, just be the witness. Like all that stuff, that's just the ego. Don't worry about it. You can just kind of separate from that and heal all your trauma. I actually heard that the other day, right? So what do we do with all this? Well, the good news is I actually have the perfect answer, and I know what you should be doing. It's just a few steps to follow. And of course, I'm being sarcastic if you know me. But this energy of what is the perfect technique, the absurdity of me telling you that there is one and I know, kind of makes a point in a way. So I'd like to give you some things that have helped me and conversations with colleagues and people I've worked with to help navigate this whole space. I really like to start with turning around and looking at that energy, that quality that's very human, very natural that we have. That's like, will someone please tell me the answer? Someone please tell me what to do. It could be very inner child type energy, right? Like someone out there, some adult, just show me the right thing. If you can start probing into that a bit, looking at some of the emotion behind that, right, you might find a lot of qualities, a lot of nuances that if you can work through this, helps create a much more mature landscape for you to be able to say, okay, what resonates for me? Can I take some of this and some of that? And not like clinging to an answer, which actually makes us very susceptible to some not great things as well. There might be a desperation behind that, tell me what to do. Like, hey, if I don't get the right thing, everything's going to fall apart. We might be in a tough spot, and it's like, I'm in a tough spot right now. I need to get the right thing, and I need it fast. Could be a perfectionist energy. Okay, well, just what's the perfect thing to do? And I'm going to research it, and as an achiever, I'm going to nail all the steps and get it right. That's sort of my personality type that I have to work through. Tell me what to do. Looking at that. And then embracing, as you kind of process the emotions behind this and see how that shifts the landscape, embracing it's a challenge and a journey of self-discovery to discover what works for us, what of this various advice is actually helpful for where we are at and what we need. If I were to say, like, what's the best way to start a business? It's like, well, who are you? Like, what's the business? What's the product? What are your skills? How long have you been doing this? All that stuff matters. So why with emotional work and healing should it be just formulaic? Like, here's the one thing, everyone should just do this. And you see that dogmatism, if that's a word, how toxic that can get, and how like, okay, I'm not doing it right. That's the only reason I'm not healing or not feeling better, because the perfect technique, I'm doing it wrong. It really gets into that. So tell me what to do energy, and embracing the journey of self-discovery and looking at the emotions behind that tell me what to do. Another thing I've discovered kind of more recently that I think might be helpful is examining if you have within you an energy, and it could be, again, have like an inner child quality to it of, I want everything to agree. I want there to be no conflict. And my mind wants to make sense. Okay, this teacher's saying this and they sound smart and they have testimonials. And this other person sounds really smart and they have testimonials. And like, I want it to make sense, even though they're saying opposite things. They might just be saying opposite things. A lot of things in this space do not agree. They fundamentally disagree. And that can be confronting, but turn your attention to the discomfort within you, within that. Process through that. Do some tapping on that. You can look at some of my videos on different topics. I'll link a playlist below of this, like, I don't feel comfortable, but I am trying to make sense of these external things to make them into a harmony that isn't there. This can be really sticky with people, and it actually came my way not too long ago, a question that was like, yeah, this teacher is saying, positive thoughts, positive thinking. And this other teacher was pretty hardcore, saying all practices like that are just reinforcing the ego. So which is right? I mean, I don't know. They are fundamentally different. You cannot do that technique and that approach. We have to decide, and deciding can be difficult, even temporarily, because to do that is to not do that. It's like, well, I don't know which one's right. We have to kind of, again, take it back to that discomfort within us and working through that. So we have more of an inner adult online to say, okay, this resonates, maybe this doesn't. Maybe this makes more sense for me right now. That takes me to my final point is like, what is your goal or your intention for this moment in your life or where you're at right now? And I mean like your real goal and intention. And this can get sticky because a lot of us, I know I've been through this, you learn different things, different ideas, and you get a framework of like what I'm supposed to say, what the quote unquote correct goal is. Like, hey, I just want total freedom, or I just want to be happy. But your real intention is like, I want a career that matters to me, or I really want a partner. But that doesn't sound spiritual. That doesn't align with, the techniques that you're in. That we got to get honest. Again, this goes back to self-discovery and working through our own inner tension to be like, what's important for me right now? And an example from experience here is someone might be going through a breakup or a divorce, and it's really sticky and they can't stop thinking about it. It's pulling them down, but they're really into like positive thinking type ideas. Like, okay, it's got to stay positive. And so they think they're creating more negativity, but they can't stop thinking about the person, and it's a mess. And I've also encountered people where, again, they're trying to do the spiritual thing of like, well, that's just the ego that wants love anyway. I'm just going to keep being the observer of that. And it's not really making much mileage, but there's an attachment to those ideas. I've worked with people who've been in this space, right? Doing a lot of times it's EFT tapping, going through divorce or breakup. And yeah, we process through. It's like, okay, you're here with me to grieve this, to move through this, and that's what I do. And in some cases, once that process is completed, they never see me again, right? It's not like now their whole life is about doing EFT tapping and going through every aspect of their life. But in that moment in time, might have been what was really needed. And then maybe going into a different practice or back to something that was serving them in many ways, but not in that particular moment, where the intention or goal for that phase of their life really needed a business coach more than it needed more meditation, right? So being able to be aware and fluid with what does my life need right now can help you get out of, okay, well, what's the perfect technique? And it all needs to agree to other times like, yeah, this is a different thing than I normally do, but right now I need it. Right? Just like you might need a massage, or if you're injured, you go to physical therapy, whereas you might otherwise be like a power lifter. Right? You do different things in different moments with different people of different skill sets. So that's another helpful framework I find for looking at all these spaces. These are different experts. It's the internet, so sometimes they're full of it, but let's give the benefit of the doubt or assume we're looking at good information. They're different experts in different fields. And beware the expert of everything. They know everything about everything. That's another video for another time. But this person does this. It really aligns with my goals or what I need right now. I can kind of go there. So yeah, tell me what to do, energy. Look at that. Look at the emotions behind that. Embrace the challenge of self-discovery. Explore any sense of needing things to agree or not be in conflict. Be clear on what is your goal and intention. Allow yourself to move in the way that works for you and resonates with you, and try different things. So let me know your thoughts, maybe what you've gone through on this journey, where you're at with this. I'm working through it myself, obviously, and love expanding on these ideas and really getting clarity on what helps us move forward and not just stuck in ideas of who's right and who's wrong. So hope it helps. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks so much.